What's up guys, TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and today I'm gonna talk a little bit about Virtua Fighter 6. It sort of died with the release of Virtua Fighter 5. This was in like 2008 or 2006 maybe even, when it released for the first time. I don't even remember what console that was, but it flopped, and then they re-released Virtua Fighter 5 five times I think, and flopped each time. It has now been re-released yet again on Steam, or in 2 weeks. It had a beta, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, so you can get that on Steam if you want, in preparation for Virtua Fighter 6. For those of you who don't know, it's a 3D fighter, just like Tekken. Tekken was actually based on Virtua Fighter. The lead game designer, I think, on Virtua Fighter actually was the director, I think, of Tekken 1. And Tekken 1 was gonna be called Rave War at first. And then someone said, that sounds kind of dumb. And then it became Tekken. No! My porn! What the fuck did I just click? Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. Huh, huh. My God! The next generation of fighting is truly here. Okay, so this obviously looks insanely sick, right? The graphics are there. I love the realistic, gritty nature of the stage. It feels like a real-world location. I love the look of the environment. And Akira has a redesign. Thank God they've probably redesigned all of the characters. I think that's also one of the reasons this game never could keep up with Tekken. The characters are so bland compared to the Tekken characters, in my opinion. That's my opinion, of course. Some people can't get enough of Jeffrey and Wolf. But I believe they also beefed up Akira quite a bit, as you do these days in fighting games. I mean, I think the Mishimas themselves, with every new game, they gain 10 pounds of muscle. So here we can see pre-development in engine footage, not actual gameplay. I didn't even had to read that text because this actually looks like a Jackie Chan fight scene. This looks like two stuntmen doing a choreographed sequence, mo-capped, of course, pre-rehearsed, etc. So I just don't think this is what the game is going to look like, but I wonder, is this the vision they have in mind, that it's supposed to look this fluid? This is literally lifted from a Jackie Chan movie. I don't remember if it's Police Story or if he does that sequence in Gorgeous against Brad Allen. I don't remember. Used to watch a lot of Jackie Chan. But this is clearly inspired by his style of fight choreography. But it looks amazing. It looks very smooth. They've updated the sound effects. It no longer sounds like a PC from '92 having a hardware meltdown when you fight, which is very good. And here we see a stage interaction in that objects break. You can probably like kick people into all kinds of things and it breaks. Reminds me of Tekken 4, but obviously in way higher detail here. Do they have two different stances there? That's not Akira's stance. You see, they even have two different stances here. It feels like more like a Muay Thai stance on the Akira to the left. Like the two stuntmen are not clear as to what we're going to do next. But presentation-wise, this obviously looks 9 million times better than any Virtua Fighter prior to it. I've heavily criticized Virtua Fighter a million times, and deservedly. Virtua Fighter deserves an enormous amount of criticism because they made the mistake of, what's that quote from Einstein? Repeating the same thing over and over, expecting different results. That is the definition of insanity. They released Virtua Fighter 5 and it fucking flopped in what, 2006. It couldn't keep up with the competition. Tekken looked too good. Soul Calibur looked too good. Mortal Kombat looked too good. Smash was too good, etc, etc, etc. It's always had competitors, you know. Fighting games have done well since the 90s, to say the least. And then they re-released a game that flopped over and over and over with changing nothing. We don't update the graphics, we don't change the character designs, we don't change how the game plays, and they release it over and over and over, expecting different results, and lo and behold, flop, 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 flop. And I was just sitting there like, Are you guys dumb as fuck? Or are you insane? Or do you just see an opportunity for an easy cash grab all the time? Oh, Street Fighter 4 is doing well. Oh, Street Fighter 5 is doing well. Oh, Tekken 7 is doing well. Re-release, and flop, 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 flop. My friend Chris said it perfectly. He said that he tried Virtua Fighter 5 re-release a year or two ago when they dropped it last. And he said, why would I play this game? It looks like shit. This game looks like my anus. Why would I play it? And it sounds like diarrhea. Like, and that's the problem. It doesn't matter how good your game is because you live in a superficial culture. Doesn't matter if a meat, it's a very nutritious meal. It's very nutritious, right? If you eat it, but it smells like poop and it looks like poop. No one's gonna give you a shot. You have to have visuals there to entice people. It has to look cool. And that's what Tekken always had over Virtua Fighter. That's why I think Tekken stomped Virtua Fighter. The characters look cool. There's a story mode that's dumb as fuck, but at least it's there. There's some entertainment value. And when they hit each other, there's impact. It's a huge sound. Like when Brian does a Mach punch, you feel it. But Virtua Fighter in comparison, shit sound effects, shit graphics, shit character designs. No impact. No real impact. And that's how I think this game lost the big audience. With every re-release, they only catered to people who were already sold on the game, but a diminishing group of people. This looks very exciting, right? They've done everything right here. And I just hope it plays well. The other thing I want to get into with this video is, after carefully collecting my thoughts and taking in a bit of information on Virtua Fighter, is Tekken 8 has had a lot of criticism lately. Street Fighter 6 has a lot of criticism lately. And this is just gamers being gamers. New game bad, old game good, rose-tainted glasses, only see the good stuff from the old game, only see the shit of the new game. It's just gamer brain disease. But with Tekken 8, one of the criticisms is, I can't block anymore in this game, it's too aggressive. Tekken 8, the aggressive direction, I can't play like old games. You can't block, there's no defense in Tekken 8. And some of these people have been telling me, oh, wait until Virtua Fighter releases. It's gonna stomp Tekken. It's gonna save us from this hyper-aggressive game. There are a few things I want to say here. I hope that game does well. I like good fighting games. Street Fighter 6 is currently kind of bodying Tekken 8. It has insane esports numbers. It has insane player numbers on console and on Steam. It has insane amounts of views on Twitch. The game is killing it and is bodying Tekken 8. I don't have an inferiority complex towards Street Fighter. I actually really like that game. I think it's the best 2D fighter I've ever played, and I wish them well. They did a good job with that game. In the same sense, I hope this game does well. I don't see this Tekken versus Virtua Fighter competition and bad, oh god, we gotta beat them. But there's one comment I want to make to these guys who say, we're gonna play Virtua Fighter now because you can't play defense in Tekken 8. For those of you who don't know, Virtua Fighter is an unbelievably aggressive game. And that's what I want to get out there. I think a lot of people don't know how that game plays. And in Tekken, you know, when we play with movement, and some characters want to be up close, like Steve and Fengwei, they want to stand up close and poke you down, right? And rush you down. Some characters, say Kazuya, Brian, Lee, Clive, they feel much more comfortable playing mid-range, a couple of meters away. And it's very dynamic in that way, Tekken, with its 3D movement, sidewalks, and backdashing, and the different ranges we play. In Virtua Fighter, the mid-range doesn't really exist. It's all about being up close and being super aggressive. Because you don't want to block. Why do you not want to block in Virtua Fighter? Because every character is king. What do I mean with this? A jab in Virtua Fighter comes out at 12 frames. A throw comes out in 10 frames. Throw is the fastest interaction in Virtua Fighter. In Tekken, you'll know it's the opposite. Jab 10, throw 12, right? But also a crucial distinction here is that while the throw is 10 frames in Virtua Fighter, any attack hard counters throw, right? So if someone's doing a jab or is in any strike animation, you can't throw them. Every character has access to a freeway throw mix-up that King does with his chain throws, right? Only King can do this in Tekken. Any character in Virtua Fighter can from standing do a 10 frame free-wave throw mix-up. So it's either a neutral throw, a front throw, or a back throw. They all have different breaks. You gotta guess. And all of these throws have the same startup animation. You cannot tell the difference. In Tekken, you see a right arm, you see a left arm, you see 2 arms. In Virtua Fighter, free-wave throw mix-up, same animation, 10 frames. Also, if you try and sidestep, the throws beat sidestep. The throws beat sidestep. They are also there to shut down your movement. Every single character has arguably a stronger throw mix-up than King. The game also has a ton of guard breaks. So a lot of people have had criticism towards guard breaks in Tekken. Like Paul in Heat, down 1, 2. Brian's Soul Eraser. In Virtua Fighter, this is where the guard breaks originated. We stole those things from Virtua Fighter. In this game, guard breaks are everywhere, and they are insanely strong, and they're not a resource. You don't use them in Heat. You just throw them out like this, and they break someone's guard. And they can do devastating things. Their Jin, what is he called? Jin something. He has an insane guard break. Benina has an insane guard break. Akira has a 13 frame high guard break. It almost makes you think of Tekken 1 King, where an attack on normal hit does some damage, but nothing really. But if they block it, he's plus 91. Akira has a 13 frame high that doesn't do anything on hit, but if you have the execution on block, it's a launcher. So, it's some interesting stuff there, to say the least. Now, I don't know how Virtua Fighter 6 is going to play. They might change the gameplay drastically, but I'm just trying to say that those of you expecting it to be more about defense than Tekken, if it plays anything like Virtua Fighter 5, absolutely not. It's gonna be about throw spamming and then mid-check and then pressing a lot. And not really using spacing, because you have nothing to gain by getting away from your opponent. You can't play keep out. You can't play long-range space control with Demon Paw style, etc. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm hoping it's an amazing game. I'm just saying that keep your expectations in check. But so yeah, I just wanted to get those thoughts out there. But other than that, I wish this game a ton of success. I really hope it does well. I know there are Virtua Fighter fans out there who have been waiting for a sequel for a million years, so I'm happy it happens. And again, I really hope it's good. And I hope they put in a good story mode. I hope they understand what they have to do to grab new audience members, We'll see. I hope you thought these comments were interesting. I hope you have a great day. Take care.